Hey guys, Effie here. Today I'm back with day 8 of our 12 days of DIY Christmas crafts. And for today, I'll be making some quick, less than 5-minute holiday cards. So I'm starting off with our Blizzard Hugs 6x8 stamp set. I'm going to take this beautiful large snowflake stamp and I'm going to silver heat emboss it onto 5 different colored A2 card panels. A2 is just 4¼ by 5½ inches. Once I've stamped this beautiful snowflake onto each panel, I made sure to offset the snowflake just a little bit off the panel for some interest. Once they've all been heat embossed, I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending using our Couture Color inks and a variety of makeup brushes. So I'm going to add 2 shades of inks for each panel. I'm going to use a lighter shade and then a darker shade for added interest and depth. So for example, for the blue panel, I used a combination of our Azurite dye ink, and then later I added some True Navy dye ink for that darker color. And then I added 2 shades for each of these panels, so you can see they get gradually darker as we go closer to the edge, and it's also a great way to add a little bit more interest while keeping these projects one layer. Next, I'm just going to trim a little bit on each side to give my edges a nice clean look, and also I'm going to mount these onto an actual A2 white panel so we have this nice clean sophisticated look to them. Next, I'm just gonna trim off some sentiment strips. I'm using a bunch of holiday sentiments that I cut up from our printables. I'll link everything in the description box below. Lastly, to finish off my cards, I'll add some glass slipper sequins in a visual triangle around the sentiment, and this card is complete, as well as these cards. You can make each card in less than 5 minutes with minimal supplies. So let's move on to our next design. I'll be using our vintage Christmas block 4x6 stamp set and some ombre ink pads. So I've already placed the stamp into my mini MISTI, and I'm just going to take these 2 different colored ombre ink pads and shimmy them across my stamp to create these beautiful ombre Christmas cards. I've already gone ahead and trimmed the edges of these panels. Then I'll just adhere them onto some card bases, and these cards are complete as well. Let's move on to the next design. For this last batch of cards, I'm using our Folk Art Christmas tree. I'm using the same shimmying ombre ink pad technique for this first card. If you don't have any ombre ink pads, you can just use 3 separate ink pads, and I'll show you right here. I'm just going to go in with our Soft Garden dye ink at the top of the tree, then with our Bright Fern mini ink in the center of the tree. After you've inked up each section, you want to just dab off the ink to get rid of those rough edges of the ink, and that way you're going to have a nice seamless pattern. Once I've stamped all my panels, I'm going to trim the stamped panels at the edges and then adhere them onto colored bases, and then lastly just add a sentiment, and these cards are complete. These are all very quick cards that you can make in less than 5 minutes, or you can mass produce these cards and give them away as a gift this season. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's projects and video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel because I update it regularly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with day 9 of our 12 Days of Christmas video series.